And we're back. Wolving it up. Right off the bat, man.
Well,
What saw you?
You can't avoid the wolves.
Oh,
So-
okay.
If you have your box on that's covered in pee, will they not attack you?
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
Which box was it they peed on?
Was it box
I'm
A or
pretty
box
sure
B?
It's box A.
Ah, there
That's
you
pretty
go.
Cool.
Never knew that.
I only knew
I've
it
never
at-
had them pee on
Well,
me.
that's
Yeah.
really smart.
I only knew it as a joke that the dog pees on you. I didn't realize it actually helped you out. Let's see if they start humping you.
No, I'm not interested.
You're not interested, but
Not
Snake's
interested in
into
that.
it.
Oh, is that right?
Snake's totally into it.
I always try to just click it off like in every other game. I think there's. Oh shit. Just kidding. I'm a box that has pee on it.
Yeah. You like the smell of your own pee, right?
That means they own you.
Okay, so we said there wasn't a whole lot of backtracking in this game, but
No, we said there was a lot of backtracking in this game.
oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
There's a fair amount, I guess.
Fair amount. No, we said there is a lot of backtracking, but nowhere as near as much as in Metal Gear 2.
You know, I don't really ever mind backtracking. Like that's a big complaint from like a lot of people about a lot of games, and it never really bothers me if it narratively makes sense.
Or if it's
If,
not
like-
boring. Like if
yeah.
it's boring.
Well, I think in Metal Gear 2, it's fucking outrageously boring.
Like
That's
I
the
have to go
problem.
back to get this PSG1 because I didn't need it earlier and I didn't have keycard access. And yeah, you could say like, no, they just did it to extend the game, but it never really bothers me. There's a lot of backtracking in Dead Space 1, but
Oh,
it also
yeah.
narratively makes sense because you're stuck on the Ishimura. Like,
Yeah.
one ship. There's only so many things you can do with like an enclosed space.
But that also works because it's survival horror, so there's that sense of dread. It makes you go back to places that were scary. And you're like, oh my god, I have to go back to that room that really sucked with the flickering lights.
Yeah.
So that works narratively.
I just don't. I don't really ever mind backtracking.
I think it depends on the game. Because that works, like you're saying, it works for the theme of the game and the narrative and the atmosphere. And it works kind of here because you still have that claustrophobic feeling of Shadow Moses. Shadow Moses is kind of creepy. You know, you have Gray Fox roaming around. You have people with superpowers like Mantis. And so this place still feels kind of weird and interesting to you. But Big Shell in Metal Gear 2, it's just a big fucking like factory. And a lot of that backtracking is really unnecessary and it gets really boring. But we'll again talk about it when we get to that game, but we think it's intentional. That sort of unnecessary backtracking.
Yeah.
It's weird that playing this part here, I'm having flashbacks to Metal Gear 4.
Yeah,
Which is like-
that is always weird. Then that.
Huh.
Yeah, I get that every once in a while too.
Except you can actually explore the space here.
Yeah.
Without being annoyed.
It does get
Fucking dwarf
really
geckos.
intense.
You'll see what I mean when if and when we get to Rising, you'll get to see how annoying dwarf geckos can be. Because there's a whole nother level that they didn't even approach.
A whole new level of obnoxious shit.
Yeah. They're the kings of annoyance in
Shit.
Rising. I might even put them as the
I meant to.
worst enemies in any game ever in the history of mankind.
That's oh, fuck.
Wow.
That's pretty.
They're really, really, really bad.
They're
I look forward to playing
they're
that game then.
impossible.
I want to scold whoever created them.
So
Wow.
Kojima.
If he was behind it, yep, I got some words for him.
So if you-
I love everything you do except for that one thing you fucked up greater than anything in the history of the world.
Like, you okayed dwarf geckos. Like, what the shit, man?
You are worse than Hitler.
Alrighty, so we're going back to the warehouse.
Taking it back. Endless knocking.
Come on, elevator, let's go.
It's always funny that they make you experience the elevators in real time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Most
wait.
games would cut. But it was like that for the MSX games as well. Like you would actually see that little animation of the walls rising and falling. I guess it's like a Resident Evil when you open the doors and you actually open the doors. Like you have that little load screen. Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if it's disguising loading in here, or if it's just because. Pretty sure Resident Evil is just hiding loading.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, they might be like because it's probably switching to a different track on the CD because it's a different level, so that makes sense.
Yeah. All the clever ways you can.
The guy was right. He was right there. The workarounds.
Yeah, just like the limitations you have working.
Smoke them if you got them.
Just working within those parameters you have to work within in order to accomplish something. So, like trying to create something like Resident Evil, born out of that is that animation for opening a door. Like.
Which really does work to be suspenseful on a lot of occasions, and a lot of times
Yeah.
it's just fucking just.
Oh, there's 2 of them. Cigarettes aren't gonna help me now.
That's what you think.
Smoke them if you got them.
His alarm went off as you punched him in the face.
This guy guarding the elevator here.
Well, in that I'm going into a room.
Ah, sucks.
Shit.
Who saw me?
Everyone.
Damn it. Well, that's okay, we can start from this level. I think it gives us the PSG one, even after
Yeah.
I think we still have it. Either way, we're gonna be in the warehouse, it's gonna be easy.
Do, 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 do.
No, I have to go get it, but that's okay. Super easy.
The trapdoors are funny. A funny thing to be in here. I'm pretty sure you said it was
Yeah, they're.
in the older games, but
Yeah.
it's just kind of funny to be in such a a serious game and
Yeah, it's like
more
a trapdoor.
realistic looking
Yeah.
thing, and it's like a
Do they only-
evil villain trapdoor.
So
Yeah.
do the guards have like some sort of key card on them so they don't collapse?
They don't trip them. I never thought of it that way.
Do they walk alongside of them?
Yeah,
Maybe they
because I'm
walk
sure
from the
it's
left
that
to
happens
right.
sometimes when some guard is not paying attention. He just falls right through the floor.
Because then we're just manufacturing these guys.
Yeah, well, they literally are actually, but that's a plot point that'll come up later. Yeah, it's interesting when you think about how this is supposed to be. We've talked about this before, but this, for a lot of American players, is the first time they've been introduced to the Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear universe, because I don't think the MSX games were actually never released in America. You had the Metal Gear port for the NES, and then you had Snake's Revenge for the NES as well, but that was like disavowed by Kojima. He said that's not an official Metal Gear game, and it's famous for being one of the worst games of all time. This really is like a next-gen port almost of Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake. Even in the sense of like that, I never thought about this, but like that top-down scrolling, like that angle that you have, it's supposed to be a remake of that top-down scrolling that's in the MSX games. And I always wondered why the camera angles were like kind of weirdly fixed like this. Like you're moving like a camera above the character.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Almost like Gauntlet, you know? And the PlayStation, at this time, a lot of games were like first person. Or, you know, they weren't a fixed camera angle like over the top like this. If you play, like, think of like Crash Bandicoot or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was, you
call
follow...
it Bandicoot?
Or medieval.
Yeah, medieval.
Also.
Yeah. And I always thought this was a weird camera angle, but it's weird that Kojima was like, no, I want to do that same camera angle, but I want to do it right. And it like zooms in and it zooms out. It's really interesting. They kind of dropped that in part 2, don't they? Because in part two you actually have like a laid back camera angle. It's not always right on top of you like this.
Yeah, it shifts and it has. I think of it as always just like Kojima's like cinematic love coming through. There's like the scene running through the tanker where it like goes in front of you and you're running toward the camera.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It switches up definitely.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because at the time you had like Resident Evil, it actually had like the shifting camera angles. You would have a camera angle and it would be down the hall, or it'd be canted, it'd be behind you, on top of you, around. So it's kind of like Kojima's being stubborn by sticking to the same layout that he had established with the other Metal Gear games.
Oh, I never noticed that.
Yeah, you can see
like
the you can see the trapdoors. Not that it really matters because you just run over them.
This and Silent Hill, like we said, another Konami game. the camera really interestingly. Like Silent Hill was, in a way, it seemed like Konami's answer to Resident Evil, but in a different way.
Yeah, because
it has its own personality for sure, but the camera angles in Silent Hill, like they shift, so they weren't like set camera angles like it was in Resident Evil, but they had these shifting camera angles. Like you might walk down an alleyway and the camera will shift as you walk up above you, so it gives us like some of them were really uncomfortable camera angles that added to the uneasiness.
Absolutely.
Of it.
Yeah, because Resident Evil was always intended to be an action horror game, because their inspiration were the Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, that series, the George Romero series, which are scary movies, but they are kind of action movies because there's a lot of blood and guts and chase scenes. Whereas Silent Hill is, especially the second one, is based off of a lot of amalgamations of horror movies, but they're mostly inspired by a movie called Jacob's Ladder, which is a psychological horror movie. And those movies are all about the psychological terror instead of the actual, like, there's a zombie coming to get you. And so that's why I love those games, is because, yeah, like you said, the camera angle is just to make you feel uneasy. Whereas Resident Evil, it's almost part of the difficulty. Because the camera would shift and suddenly your axis of where you're controlling would shift too.
Yeah.
And then instead of going right, you're going left all of a sudden. You have to like fight it, which is horrifying when there's a horde of zombies coming after you. So it makes sense. It was never like going to break the game like in Silent Hill 2, because it wasn't like you have to panic because you have to fight the controls. It was just like, things are going kind of weird. And I really love, like, one of my favorite endings in any video game is Silent Hill 2. You know, I never thought about that, but the ending of Silent Hill 2, where you go to the hotel and it's like the hotel starts to go crazy, that is kind of taking something from the page book of Kojima. Because it's very much feels like the ending of Metal Gear 2, and it feels like the game's going crazy. I never thought about that before, and those are two of my favorite endings of any game. Even now, if I made it, like, you know, in 2014, if I had a list of my favorite endings to any video game, you know, Metal Gear Solid 2 and Silent Hill 2. But I never thought that they were very similar in that sense. It's pretty much the main character going crazy. And then to achieve that effect, they make it feel like the game player, the person who's playing the game, is going crazy because the controls go wonky and the camera goes go wonky.
The nuclear storage.
Going all the way back.
Taking it back.
Yes.
Still love his knee-high steps.
I know. I love the way he
running-
walks up the stairs.
Running
It's
up and
awesome.
down. He tucks his arms in real tight.
It looks like he's slapping his knees as he does it.
It didn't take that long.
So this game's just an elevator simulator, right?
That's another thing. Like, doing what we just did actually didn't take very long at all. It wasn't like we had to do enormous backtracking. The only, like, I guess,
Well,
problematic part is the PAL cards.
Yeah.
yeah.
If we ever play Solid Snake, which I would like to, but one of the major criticisms of that game is that it's like the same backtracking, but you have to do it through several boards. And I mean, you're going across like 15 screens to get one item. And that's like the make or break, because the first Metal Gear game, you could probably beat it in about 3 or 4 hours. Solid Snake, it takes like 12 hours. And of that 12 hours, I would say 5 or 6 of it is just backtracking.
Yeah.
So Kojima is no stranger to making you backtrack. Get that P box.
There's a not backtracking part, but a terrible part that is going up the stairs in the tower.
Yeah.
That my least favorite part of this entire game is that part.
Well, it's because you try to do it non-lethal.
Well, even doing it lethal, it's just annoying. It goes on forever, and it's just annoying.
You're right. That part's pretty annoying.
I think that part is a reference to a scene in Solid Snake. Where
Oh,
you're going,
is it?
yeah, you're going up a staircase. Yeah, you have to fight some guys on a staircase. It's almost exactly like that. You even fight a Hind D on top of a building in Solid Snake. And you beat it by throwing grenades at it, which is kind of funny.
That's how you fight helicopters.
Yeah, you just lob grenades at them. Otacon jokes about that.
Well, that's how
Yeah.
Solid Snake fights helicopters.
Yeah, because there's that codec call in Metal Gear 4, Metal Gear Solid 4, but he's talking about the Vulcan Raven fight. And he's like, you took out a tank by yourself? And he's like, yeah, I just threw grenades at it.
I just threw grenades at it. That's how you take out things.
You're the shit.
Aw, they love me.
No, they love their own pee.
They love me for who I am.
As a guy who walks on a cardboard box soaked in pee.
Occasionally kicks them.
And he punches them in the face.
I have to say that, like, this part's really weird because you really have to, like, stare at the walls to figure out where the heck you're even supposed to go. Aha! It's really hard to figure it out.
Oh, that little guy almost got you. But doesn't this look like it could be Silent Hill, the first one? Just the way, like, you got the vignette lighting, and it's like a spotlight on you, and it's very drab, and you got the dripping water in the background. It really feels like a survival horror game sometimes.
Yeah.
And we're through it. We done did it, guys. We done did it.
Maybe.
Mayhaps.
This is one of my least favorite parts too, just because I suck at it.
It's kind of impossible.
Oh, is this the actual?
Not get hurt.
Is this the actual fight?
Yeah.
Do we want to do this right now?
Yeah.
All right.
See how it goes. But
oh yeah, that's my heartbeat. I was like, why?
I usually don't last but more than a few seconds, just because I suck at it. And trying to fight the controls in first person, like,
yeah,
it just wrecks me every time.
Yeah, this is one of those levels where it's not so much that you're fighting Sniper Wolf, you're fighting the PlayStation 1 controls. Trying to figure out how to use this fucking sniper rifle and then use the drugs. I really can't imagine any other game where you actually have to take drugs as a player. You have to pop a pill to be able to beat the boss.
She's taking it easy on you. She
yeah,
wrecks
she
my
is.
shit every time.
Oh shit.
Can you use the thermals on this one, or is that the second one that helps?
That's the second battle with her.
Come on,
Okay.
poke your
She's
head
in the
out.
snow.
I think it's here. There's mice that run along the railing, right?
Yeah.
If you shoot the mice and you call on the...
Is it meleeing or something? She's
I think...
like, the mouse is so cute.
Yeah. How could you? And then I think if you call Colonel...
That's bullshit. That should have hit her.
Colonel's like, it's nice that you want to do some target practice, but get back to the mission.
Especially you only have 16 bullets, so you're just sitting there shooting mice. Just what a waste.
You must have a good spot because, like, she hasn't hit you that many times, whereas she wrecks my shit every time.
I'm sure there's some obscure Japanese game out there, but for American audiences, this has got to be the first sniper battle, right? Where you're looking down a scope and you're taking out a sniper? I mean, that's... Even when I played this game for the first time and realizing that this came out in 1998, I was like, that's pretty intense.
Hey, if you take medicine to steady your hand, it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. It's pretty intense if you think about it. Like, he's trying really hard to be as realistic as possible in at least some areas of this game.
I mean, I guess in GoldenEye you did get a sniper rifle and you were able to use it that way, but you never actually fought another sniper.
Right.
I mean, I think that's the really cool thing about it.
The
And
precursor to
the end.
3.
Yeah. I was just going to say that I think it's really cool that he liked the concept of this so much that he went back and redid it.
You
Nice
did it
headshot.
on your first try. This is horseshit.
Horse
That's just horse shit.
She kicks my ass every time.
Oh,
for
should
like
we-
a good 5-6 times.
So I think we're going to call it there because we got some more good stuff coming up.
She one of those mice.
Chewing the mice.
Okay.
If you're feeling cruel.
Filling up to it.
I am, absolutely.
If you want
Go
to test your might, you can shoot a mouse.
Test your mice.
Test your mice.
with it.
Test your mice. Look at that little guy. Oh my
Oh,
god.
2-in-1. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was good.
You should get like an achievement
Not wasting
unlocked.
bullets.
Look, they're calling you.
Yeah.
I think they're going to call you to yell at you.
Snake, we don't need
Yeah,
We need someone to stop that goddamn nuke.
there's like
Whoa.
nuclear Armageddon on the line, and you're just like,
Is that the only time he says goddamn?
I don't know,
He
maybe.
sounded pretty mad
He's
there.
pretty pissed.
He's
You
pretty
pissed
upset.
off Colonel real nice and good,
Yes.
which is a great thing.
It is good.
All right, guys, come on back next time, and we'll shoot some more mice.